everybody. Up here in Idaho this morning. Hey, Hero. We just let him out. Tossing him back in there real quick. I don't want to jump out too much with the computer in the snow, but just a nice little log home building outfit right here. And back in the day when I was younger doing the log peeling and stuff, what a great big up potential work to get all those logs that need to get debarked. Plus also, what's really cool is maybe find some guys for this lumberjack show there, and also the logs. You know what I mean? So this is really promising here, and I actually didn't notice this one before. There's one down there on the road from Jackson to Alpine that they're doing a similar sort of thing, but up here. When I was like 20, and I wrote about that in the book, and that was the other thing I was saying last night, or mentioned to a few friends on Facebook, was, I wrote a 1,000-page book a few years ago. Can I begin to print that off if I get this show going in Jackson, in addition to trying to do some of the music in the, and incorporate that into the show and build a brand, around that, and actually draw more people to the event with that angle, with the music, and the performance aspect of that, in addition to the lumberjack show, just like how we have a purpose with the park thing beyond and above just the lumberjack show. Can I begin to sell the book? Can I begin to sell, sell some music, sell some CDs, but just like do the music and get the performing experience, the subtleties of the world. You look at the singer Jewel from Alaska who married pro rodeo star, you know what I mean? And their union was Case, the kid, and you can decode that name. It's K-A-C, so it's like K-A, that's the angle C, because, I need that experience as an artist, the performing, and again, I'm not trying to be the best lumberjack guy or the best one at this event thing. I'm trying to give other people the platform and, commemorate the great timber industry and the culture and the great times I had when I was younger and working in that industry and that sort of thing, and have it be as a pathway to with the purpose to reconnect people the world over with a balanced relationship with the land, using the national parks, where food comes from, etc. So sort of a cool moment here in the mountains. Let me just step up for half a second. Just to better show the log yard. Like, this is like the shit that I'm from. My grandfather built that cabin back in Maine for $101, and I'm from a place in the Maine Northwoods. The timber industry was huge, the logging trucks, and like I worked in the log peeling when I was younger, and it's really just the sense of the mulch and the bark and stuff, and the way the logs are. It really strikes good memories with me. The shed there with the jaw knives, and just the snowflakes here in April up in the mountains of Idaho, on the Wyoming-Idaho border. Dirt road, you know what I mean? Big sky, mountains. Seen bighorn sheep the other day, elk, and there's a CSA farm locally where a person can volunteer 5 hours a week and do some getting some shares from the local garden. Anyway, I think we covered it here. Pretty promising. I got to get a workout in, and like you said, I'm trying to, I got to slow down a little bit. I kind of want to hightail it back up to Bozeman, but I should talk to these guys and see if I can get some work debarking a couple of those logs every day to keep me in the area, and that way I can stay in the area, have a little cash, keep doing the music that I'm trying to do, and dial in some of those connections I was talking about yesterday when I was down to Wilson in the city park there with, pulling together some staff and, finding a place to store shit. This is probably as good as you're going to get to store logs and stuff. It's a 20-minute, 25, 30-minute drive over Teton Pass to Jackson from here, but it's totally in the summer months, even though it's snowing right now. It's in the winter, it's an obstacle for commuter traffic because, again, like I said yesterday, the housing crunch in Jackson. But during the summer, I don't see it being a insurmountable challenge to have some our logs on our shed up here and haul it down from up here. We even if we have to rent a truck, or these guys, maybe, I don't know. I hate to always depend upon other people. You better to have our own shit, obviously, but at some point when you're trying to accomplish goals and building teams, etc., you have to have work with other people, and that's sort of the essence of politics. What we're getting to with the purpose of our race, going through the parks and trying to influence policy and trying to shape narratives for future generations and reconnect people to with programming, like fitness, like programming people to reconnect with the land and those systems and relationships. You have to understand that you have to work with other groups. You have to build deals that are mutually beneficial. So what's in it for these guys beyond getting a good phenomenal platform to get into competitive timber sports and compete right there in Jackson. They have an opportunity to maybe showcase the work that they're doing up here as a business down there and have great advertising with everyone who comes into the town and watches the timber sports. These guys are the real deal. They're right up the road. They build log houses. Maybe someone, these a lot of affluent people from the world over vacation in Jackson. This is a great platform for them to get the word out about their business. Real estate's such a crunch down there in Jackson, and not a lot of people do drive up here, but not as many people drive up here. All of a sudden, we've got a great advertising location downtown a couple times a week, and all the people coming in, you're going to get some business from that. So probably really worth these while of this company to partner with us around these goals. So pretty good energy actually this morning, and a couple nights ago when I first came up here, I seen a coyote with the dog, and like I said, the bighorn sheep, the elk, and the goal to try to bike up through the park. And I got to talk to the park people. But the momentum and the energy is feeling actually pretty good today. Just discovering the log yard, taking the dog for a quick walk, and the snow and the way the timber industry sort of recenters me, I think, and that's the goal of this thing: recentering the dirt road, the timber industry, the sky, the mountains, the wildlife. That's sort of what the architecture. That's what this region is so well known for, and with the national parks sort of strive to celebrate. And yesterday I talked to a couple people at the different hotels, and we're seeing how this year the solstice in Jackson is going to be drawing people, and they're going to people are spending up to $1,500 a night to stay in the hotels during the solstice because it's the sky thing. It's a big once in a million years or something thing, and there's supposed to be like 6 million people, not the normal 4 million tourists at the location this summer. So again, just a prime time to try to excel, because you have to look at the numbers and stuff. Even if we had over the course of the summer a dozen good days of lumberjack shows where we're having like the numbers of 1,500 people come to our event, that's enough to justify doing it the rest of those other nights. And even if it's 100 people or 200 people, if we have that that bread and butter, meat and potatoes, a dozen or 15 good days where we're almost maxing out our goal capacity for the place a couple times a week, you know what I mean? That's enough to make enough money to make the whole thing work all summer, and then the rest of it, you know what I mean? And you have to be conservative with your estimates, but also you have to accept the fact that the potential to do well is here. So we don't want to run away to the Pacific Northwest. We don't want to run away to some of the bad patterns of behavior, traveling and shit that haven't been really positioning me economically better. We need to take a minute, dial shit in, get this thing going here, make it so that everyone who's involved, the community, all the people in lumberjack, the people, the tourists, everyone connected is an absolute winner by in any involvement with this thing. From a business sense, that's the mindset you want to go in. Everyone has to win. Everyone has to do well economically. Has to have good purpose. Has to have a good social and environmental impact. Has to give back to the community. Build the right kind of culture. And commemorate the heritage. So this is really fun, really exciting. We gotta let it go. I gotta go get a workout in this morning, and just try to keep the momentum rolling.